All right, let's talk about winter solstice. So, when we're at the winter solstice, this means that it's the shortest day of the year. So we're getting the least amount of energy from the sun. And then simultaneously, the moon has gone through its new moon and its dark moon, or will go through its dark moon soon, in its debilitation point in Scorpio and Giesta. And so this is when we're actually getting some of like that weaker moon energy too. And when this is happening simultaneously, we may be feeling more insecure, more vulnerable, and maybe even more sensitive to the world around us. But this can also be an opportunity for us to connect to ourselves a little deeper. And it can be almost like a portal into our intuition. And so it's when the days are shorter, it's really kind of like nature is trying to call us back deeper into ourselves. And so there's a yoga teaching called Svadhyaya, which is the study of the self. And so this is kind of where we go inward and we meditate. And when I say study of the self, I'm not talking about like your likes or your dislikes or your hobbies and talents or your thoughts or opinions. I'm talking about connecting to the part of yourself that can't be destroyed, the part of you that existed before you came into this body, and then the part of you that will continue to exist even after you leave this body, which is like the energy part of yourself. And so if that's a better way of describing it, because that's how your brain works, then let's call it your energy self, or otherwise you could call it your soul. And so it's connecting to this space where you actually have the experience of who you really are beyond all of your thoughts and opinions. And all of that stuff's great. And it's good to know those things about yourself. But we're talking about knowing that deeper part of you, the unchanging part of you, the part that can't be destroyed. And so really the only way to know this is through meditation. It's that like place of samadhi where you're completely absorbed into the moment. And usually that's like a pretty fleeting experience because as soon as we realize we're there, we're out of it and it's gone. And so really that's why we call it a practice. Like a meditation is a practice because we have to come back to it every day. And we're not guaranteed to reach samadhi every day, but the more and more that we practice it, the more and more we'll be able to get there. And so in the summertime, when the sun is in the sky for the longest and we're receiving the most amount of the sun energy, the moon simultaneously is going through its exaltation point in the sky where it had a new moon in Taurus near Rohini potentially, and then a dark moon in Taurus near Rohini as well. And so we're experiencing the really positive, vibrant energy of the moon at the same time. And this is not an accident or a coincidence. This is by design. We need to know the dark in order to know the light. And we need to know the inner world in order to know the outer world, just as we need to know ourselves in order to know God. And if I'm not talking about like a guy in the sky, unless that's what you believe in. We could also substitute God with nature. In order to know yourself, or in order to know nature, you need to know yourself. And so this is kind of a way for us to go to that inner space during the winter solstice and really get to know ourselves so that we can know nature or God or whatever higher power you believe in. And we can almost see this time as like a portal. And so I'm going to be doing a winter solstice ritual on December 21st. And it's not going to be very long, short and sweet, no more than a half hour. And we're just going to do a little meditation and then intention setting for the year to come. And so if you would like to be there, join the Skool community and you'll find the Zoom link in there. And I hope to see you.